If you want to build self-confidence, it would be good to listen to the words of Marcus Aurelius. He was the emperor of Rome from 161 to 180 after Christ, and he is considered the last of the 5 good emperors. During his rule, Marcus Aurelius found time to compose a series of autobiographical writings, now known as the Meditations. The Meditations are considered one of the greatest works of philosophy, and that's why in this video we will use part of his wisdom as motivation to talk about the 9 things we should do to build our self-confidence. Now, before we continue, take the opportunity to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate notifications to receive our new videos. Focus on building your character. Marcus Aurelius says, "Consider at what price you sell your integrity, but by God, do not sell it cheap." In our early stages of life, self-confidence develops through interactions with our parents and the love and care we receive from them and our relatives. But this serves only as a starting point for the growth of our self-confidence. To face uncomfortable social situations and deal with all kinds of adversity, we need additional skills. A strong character and personal skills are essential and can profoundly change the way we live. Character is specifically linked to the moral dimension of the self. The moral dimension of the self represents the inner part of your personality, which includes your principles, values, and behaviors. It guides your moral choices, what you perceive as right or wrong, fair or unfair, and forms the basis for your integrity, honesty, and responsibility. It defines your ethical identity as a human being. Developing character is about developing your personal integrity and the internal compass of acceptable or unacceptable behaviors. Character formation involves a continuous process of self-evaluation, comparing the real self with the ideal self, i.e., who you are with who you truly want to be. Always avoid acting as the self you wouldn't want to be. According to the Stoics, we should embrace every situation, every challenge, as a way to exercise our character and become a better human being. We should strive to become kind, honest, and hard-working individuals. We must educate ourselves and learn to treat everyone with respect, because even if you go through adversities, lose your job, or your relationship ends, your character is the only thing that cannot be taken from you. A person can either grow in life or fall solely due to the virtues or flaws of their character, and often, this is what we leave as a legacy to those around us. Marcus Aurelius reminds us of the importance of not selling our integrity at a low price. If you neglect your heart, mind, or soul, it changes who you are on the outside as much as on the inside. Continuous growth and lasting success result from aligning the inner and outer aspects of our lives. Fixing the interior must happen first with solid character traits that promote the foundation for growth. If we wish to grow and reach our potential, we must pay more attention to our character than to our success. We must recognize that personal growth means more than expanding our minds and developing new skills. It means increasing our capacity as human beings. It means maintaining our inner integrity even when it hurts. It means being who we ought to be, not just being where we want to be. It means maturing our soul. Practice self-acceptance. In the words of Marcus Aurelius, content yourself with being just what you are. Self-acceptance is the cure for perfectionism and unhappiness. It's so easy to focus on our flaws, on all our insecurities. Constantly, we are overwhelmed by standards and models of how we should be. In a world filled with relentless standards, it's so easy to concentrate on our flaws and all the insecurities we feel. Constantly, we are bombarded by media with models of who we should be. And this diverts our attention from what truly brings us joy, and we fall into the trap of self-deprecation, liking ourselves less and less. We often occupy ourselves by focusing on others around us, admiring that your friend has an athlete's great body, that your friend's hair is full and shiny, that someone has a brilliant career, that someone else has a beautiful family, inevitably comparing and depreciating ourselves. Self-love is one of the best things you can do for yourself, providing self-confidence, self-esteem, and genuine positivity. Being in love with yourself provides self-assurance and self-worth and will truly help you feel more positive. You may also find that it's easier to fall in love after learning to love yourself first. When you are truly in love with yourself and happy, you should stop comparing yourself so much to others and feel more confident, not worrying so much about what others think of you. Understand that you are whole and complex as you are. No one expects perfection from you. If you are overweight and your friends call you fat and you consider yourself less because of it, don't do that. Accept what is. Love yourself regardless. Most importantly, love your body. It's like your home. No matter what standard is imposed today or what will be tomorrow, value and love who you are and take pride in having a healthy body that allows you to live in this world with dignity. Of course, if something physically bothers you, you are entirely free to make interventions. However, we see hundreds of people risking or even losing their lives because they let themselves be guided by external standards and end up in an unattainable pursuit. If, for example, your weight bothers you, when you're ready, you can start eating healthier and exercising more. You can start this change and see the incredible transformation over the months. There are many ways to practice self-acceptance, but the most important is to be honest and forgive yourself. Reflecting on your mistakes can help you forgive and forget. If you can recall some wrong choices you may have made and forgive yourself, you can start moving forward and forget the past. Loving yourself, despite all the mistakes made in the past, is the first step towards self-esteem. All the choices you made, good or bad, constitute the person you are today. We understand what is warmth when we experience cold. We know what is night when we live the day. Similarly, every failure, every mistake, constitutes our will to change and the quest to act differently. Self-love and self-acceptance are nothing more than a choice of yours. You may have many problems, and there are usually solutions. But even without one, you are you. Why not accept yourself the way you are instead of blaming yourself? If you gave yourself a fraction of the encouragement you give to others, imagine how far you could go. Some people don't stay alone, never travel, go to a restaurant, or stay silent at home alone. And some people are afraid to do things on their own, always needing a friend, jumping from one relationship to another. The fear of loneliness or facing experiences alone can really hinder your journey towards self-love, because you need to learn to feel comfortable with yourself. Focus on your thoughts. Quoting Marcus Aurelius, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." If you constantly feel down on yourself, it may not just be a matter of negative thoughts here and there, but instead, your core beliefs about yourself might be the real issue. Ideas like, "I am not worthy of love," or "I am a loser," can shape most of the decisions you make. So that's where you need to start your transformation. Challenging a core belief may seem daunting, but it's a necessary step to strengthen self-esteem. Imagine this belief as a relentless lawyer in your mind, presenting tons of evidence to prove that you are a loser. So make a list of all the evidence you have in mind that supports this argument, that you are a loser. Now that you've presented a case, it's time for something that's missing, a defense lawyer to challenge this notion. Now sit down and make a second list. A list of reasons why you are not a failure, demonstrating why the first lawyer is wrong. Having this list of reasons why you are amazing will help you discard this negative core belief and replace it with something more true, accurate, and rational. It may seem daunting or even impossible to change your thoughts, but it is entirely possible to change your thoughts to promote healthy self-esteem. The automatic thoughts you've had for years in your mind may be familiar and may have served a purpose at a certain time in your life. However, think about how many of them are negative and harmful. The more unfavorable and negative thoughts you have about yourself, the lower your self-esteem. So if you're dedicating your time to this video, among so many contents, it's time to start questioning what you think of yourself. Keep in mind that no thought lives rent-free in anyone's head. They are all investments or costs. They either help you grow or paralyze you. Commit to challenging every negative thought that resides in your mind, and you'll see your self-esteem flourish as a natural consequence of this transformative process. Make a plan and stop thinking. As we learn from Marcus Aurelius, turn your desire into stone, satisfy your appetites, keep your mind unto itself. We live in the era of procrastination, consuming precious moments crafting plans, attending meetings, devising strategies, but not accomplishing anything. Effectively, we achieve nothing. Certainly, the first step is to define what your goal is, what is worth working for, but after deciding on your objectives, it's time to stop thinking and start doing. Thoughts and plans mean nothing without action. The most brilliant and revolutionary idea in the world is worthless unless you work and strive to turn it into reality. Want to change careers? Excellent. Choose something new, get trained, and start seeking job opportunities. Want to achieve a fitness lifestyle? Amazing. Commit to going to the gym 3 times a week and adopting a balanced diet. Stop procrastinating by doing research, stop preparing, and stop telling everyone around you about your plans. Even if you are determined to do something, when you share your plans, you feel an illusory and spontaneous sense of relief, as if you had accomplished what you intended to do. This is known as social reality, where the acknowledgement of your goal creates a connection with your identity and results in a release of feel-good reward hormones. Unfortunately, this satisfaction tricks your brain, making you think the work is already done, reducing your motivation to effectively pursue your goals. Don't let your mind deceive you. Act. Start now, preferably today. Planning without action contributes nothing. It's your actions that will boost your self-confidence, because you will achieve your goals. There's a reason why the ancient Stoics were so successful and accomplished. It's because they took action once, twice, dozens of times, thousands of times. Keep your word. As advised by Marcus Aurelius, live by it. Fulfill your promises. Be what your father expected of you. Keeping your word is crucial to restoring your sanity and creating a new life with meaning and purpose. Keeping your word means honoring what you commit to. It's about keeping your promises, especially to yourself. When we promise ourselves that we will do something, or promise to stop doing something, we feel it is for our own good. We believe that life will be more satisfying with the change. What we often fail to consider is that the promise is not just about improving relationships or living conditions, but also a test of our integrity. Take Paula, for example. She committed to quit smoking, and with the entry of a new client at work, the week that seemed calm became extremely stressful. In the midst of a project delay, she took a break for coffee with the team. A friend offered a cigarette, and she accepted. After the excitement and project delivery on her way home, Paula felt completely devastated with herself for not keeping her word. Having integrity is honoring your word, knowing that you won't do anything unexpected or surprising that leads to breaking your word, and reaffirming your commitment to your word if you find yourself wavering. Making a promise to someone is one of the most powerful forms of communication and connection. However, how many times have you promised something you couldn't fulfill? You tell a friend you'll attend their dinner, your child that you'll help with their project, your partner that you'll pay attention to their needs, your mother that you'll be more present, that you'll do something for them. But in the end, you don't. Sure, you have a good justification for not doing it, but breaking a promise has a disastrous effect. It not only disappoints the person we promised, but also erodes part of our self-esteem. Brain research shows that breaking promises is actually registered in our brain activity as emotional conflict for the one breaking the promise. We feel like we're losing part of our honesty. Fulfilling our promises is the key to experiencing our lives as we dream them to be. Take responsibility for your actions. As Marcus Aurelius so aptly said, do your duty without grumbling. The inability to accept responsibility is a clear sign of low self-esteem. This surfaces when someone is indecisive and tends to blame others. People shift blame because they believe their actions define who they are. implying that making a mistake somehow diminishes them. What many fail to realize is that by blaming others, we become powerless because we turn into victims of the situation. How many times have you heard, or perhaps even said, "I was late because of stupid delays on the train. I didn't get promoted because I don't brown-nose the manager. I can't find a job because of the economy." While these reasons may be valid, people with strong self-esteem don't focus on the factors that may have caused the undesired outcome. Instead, they channel their energy into thinking of ways to achieve the desired result. They don't diminish their worth for making a mistake. They simply learn from the experience and move forward. When you start taking control of your actions in your life, you realize the power of time management and the control that comes with autonomy, living with the determination to keep building my character and continuing to live up to the highest standards until the end. Striving to accomplish this by doing the right thing and becoming a better person each day. If we focus on our character, we will make the world a better place. If we do this throughout our lives, we will do the best we can to improve our world. Don't talk too much about yourself. Get used to paying attention to what the other person says. As much as possible, try to inhabit the mind of the one speaking. Marcus Aurelius. We are all guilty of talking too much about ourselves. We talk about ourselves 30 to 40% of the time. Studies reveal that incessantly talking about ourselves is strongly linked to increased activity in the mesolimbic dopamine system, the same part of our brain that experiences pleasure through things like food, sex, and money. The truth is, no one is interested in hearing about all your achievements, your purchases, or how you consider yourself important in a conversation. No one really wants to hear another person boasting, talking about themselves nonstop, and monopolizing the conversation. This type of conversation not only wastes time and consumes our energy, but also, being that annoying protagonist, affects our credibility and our relationships. People who keep talking like this seem to underestimate the contributions and achievements of others. They demonstrate a lack of attention and curiosity about any subject other than themselves, making them egocentric and even irritating. Acting like this is simply terrible for your self-confidence. We should also steer clear of gossip-centered conversations and judgments, as engaging in criticisms of absent people to defend ourselves is not a virtuous attitude. Instead, we should develop our listening skills, respond less to gossip and judgments, and occasionally introduce an interesting topic that you think can lead to a conversation that can truly add value to your life. Ignore the pessimists. As we learn from Marcus Aurelius, when another blames you or hates you, or people voice similar criticisms, go to their souls, penetrate inside and see what kind of people they are. You will realize that there is no need to be tormented by anxiety that someone has an opinion about you. Pessimists are people who criticize, see faults in everything, or constantly oppose something. Pessimists love to say no. Whenever you want to do something, go beyond the average, strive, and start taking action to achieve your goals. You inevitably attract criticism and pessimism. They may love you, but they are afraid of progress, so they are against everything, and their opinions are simply terrible for your self-confidence. While you have no control over what other people think or how they act around you, you have control over how you react. Their voice doesn't deserve to be heard. Don't hand over your peace of mind to external people who only want to criticize and discourage you. The reality is that you become the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Therefore, if someone has a track record of being pessimistic, simply ignore them. Create a nightly confidence ritual. In our final quote from Marcus Aurelius, he tells us, "These are the characteristics of the rational soul: self-awareness, self-examination, and self-determination. It reaps its own harvest. It achieves its own purpose." Self-confidence is a positive feeling about yourself, your ideas, and your worth, enabling you to take good care of yourself, relate to others in an egalitarian way, and take pride in yourself and how you live your life. While part of self-confidence is genetically determined, about 50% is under our control, and we can work to improve it. And we can do 2 easy exercises every night before bed. to increase and strengthen our self-confidence. First, keep a gratitude journal. Keeping a gratitude journal is a simple process. Every night you should choose 3 to 5 things you are grateful for and write them down. Acknowledge not only life's big things, like your wedding day, buying a car or a house, but also the small everyday joys. Appreciating the smaller things in life before bedtime provides a meaningful reason to wake up confidently to face life's challenges. There are only 2 ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle. The other is as though everything is a miracle. Albert Einstein. Second, conduct a daily success review. This is quite similar to your gratitude journal. At night, list 1 to 3 successes of the day. Again, success doesn't necessarily mean significant material, romantic, or professional achievements. Although if you have them, be proud. But don't overlook the power of small daily victories. Some of your small wins could be about making good decisions, going to the gym, practicing some exercise, starting to read, helping someone. It's valid for anything that makes you feel good. By focusing on these achievements, you strengthen constructive thoughts, increasing the chances of conquering more victories in the following days. These simple exercises, incorporated into your nightly routine, will significantly boost your self-confidence. Our greatest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our greatest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking, so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine, as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. Marianne Williamson. And if you've made it this far, comment gratitude. Also take the opportunity to share this video with your friends and family. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.